I thank the fates you're safe with us, Princess. You'll be pleased to know I've no additional bad news to share for now. May the fates be favorable on your next attempt. I'm beginning to acclimate to these crossroads, I think. I'm managing, Princess, though this is very strange for me. Who can say what the fates have in store for any of us now? The fates entrusted you with so much, Princess. I'll do my best to make myself useful around here. It's a pleasure to see you again, as always, Princess. I regret the setbacks you've encountered, though at least you're here. Please don't hesitate to let me know if I can be of service in some way. May you be well prepared for whatever is to come. Remember that the future is yet to be woven, Princess. I've so much left to learn about this way of life. Do let me know if there's something I could do to ease your burden, even for a bit. I trust your task is growing ever closer to completion, Princess. Some of the shades here still don't seem particularly fond of me, I'm afraid. What would the fates have me do next, I wonder? Thank you for making me feel welcome here, Princess. If the fates have taught me anything, it's that our lives can take the strangest turns. Be well, Princess Malinois, and may my sisters always favor you. Always a pleasure, Princess. Though please, don't let me keep you. Take heart knowing the fates themselves believe that you'll succeed. Go bring those foes of ours some more bad news for me. Princess Malinois, may doom befall your foes. I seldom get to say, we meet again. Yet here we are, Princess. To think that we were fated to meet under such circumstances. I'm certain you've more urgent matters to attend to than keeping company with me. Forgive me, Princess. I need some time to think. I have no additional bad news for now, I'm pleased to say, Princess. I'm sorry I can't answer you, Princess. I'm bound never to speak of matters in connection to the weavings of the fates. If you knew more right now, it could unduly influence your path. Perhaps. Nevertheless, I cannot break my oath. I trust, though, that you'll learn the truth of it when the time is right. Well, yes and no. The fated list says as little of your future as necessary. I briefly was its host myself and saw there but a single prophecy, that I would pass it on to you. No, Princess, I'm well and acclimating, as you say. I've never been to such a place as this, and making every effort not to be a nuisance here. I served my sisters, the three fates, both as their advocate and as their guardian. The fates determine when mortal lives draw to a close, and also sometimes how. I would bear witness to these more specific weavings. You could say that, I suppose. It never was for me to decide why a mortal's life should suddenly be cut short. But I did get to choose the how of it. Knowing the future could be monotonous work, so my sisters and I tried to keep things interesting. I'm not proud of it, especially not when you put it that way. And I regret I've caused dissension in your ranks. You said something before to me, Princess, concerning mortal kind, that surely they appreciate my diligence because I'm with them in the final moments of their lives. The truth of it, however, is they hate me, most of them, in life as well as death. From you, Princess, I'll take that as a compliment. It's quite all right. The fates I know full well, but Mother Nyx? We saw her seldomly. The nature of our work was such that even she would almost never get involved. Besides, she'd many other children to attend to. Come now, the mothers can't be blamed. We children are insufferable at times. My sisters. Well, each is her own goddess, I suppose. Clotho the spinstress is the talkative one, the decisive one. Lachesis is a little more agreeable, she apportions the thread. And Atropos, she sticks to the cutting. Even my own. I don't know how he found them. Few beings with knowledge of their whereabouts exist. As to what he wants from them, and this is a conjecture of my own, surely he'll try to influence their weavings from here on. Yes, I think he's already trying to do just that. Unfortunately for him, the three fates can be a bit headstrong. I trust they may be quite resistant as captives. Indeed. As for now, I sense there are no weavings happening at all. No new futures foretold. Kronos believes he has no prophecy to fear. Yet I believe this is an opportunity for you, to make a better future for us all. Well, imagine it being rather dull, always knowing what's to come. But now I'm no different than you. How do you... get by like this? Many surprises are unwelcome, yet there also can be pleasant ones, true? Yes. Oh, it's nothing of the sort, at least for now, Princess. It's just this sensation of uncertainty, not just in the grander scheme, but even from one evening to the next. I'm still unused to it. Then now. Thank you, Princess. I've been attempting what you said before, to focus on a present state of mind. It's proving difficult, because my mind invariably drifts to many possibilities of negative outcomes. Hope. I much prefer a sense of certainty. It's odd to think that my sisters, the fates, to others represent sheer chance, matters beyond one's control. Yet to me they made everything so clear. I'd rather trust than hope. There's so much here for me to learn. Lady Hecate has been generous enough to teach me something of the herbal ways and of your craft. An everlasting pursuit. I'm getting a late start. Oh, I would welcome that, Princess. Thank the fates you're well. Nemesis and I, we were just catching up. She's told me a lot about you. I'm afraid she's right. How strange to be encountering this brother of mine here. So then he truly hasn't stirred at all? It wasn't my place. We each come from big families, don't we? Odd families. You know how it is. The nectar of the gods. Thank you, Princess. I've not received an offering before, though I do like to come prepared. So here, from me to you. Huh. I must admit I'm unaccustomed to displays of flattery. Forgive me, I don't quite know what to say except thank you. You're very kind to me, Princess. I arrived at these crossroads in a desperate state. I didn't expect to be made welcome here. Why, thank you for this, truly, though you needn't go out of your way for me. You've been so generous. Forgive my asking, but this isn't due to some sort of prophecy in the fated list, is it? That's true. I'm honored to accept this, Princess Malinois. When the fates first indicated that we'd meet, I asked them what I should expect, what you were like. Clotho smiled and simply said, "You'll see." I felt certain they were playing a prank. Oh, perhaps I would have said, "She's a great witch and enchantress, the princess of the underworld, daughter to the goddess of spring and the lord of the dead." Though whatever you imagine her to be, she's more. Princess Malinois, it would be my pleasure. Would you please lead the way? Ha! I have the same thought pattern frequently. The fates, they could anticipate the outcomes of my efforts and would chastise me sometimes for small mistakes I'd yet to make. It wasn't always as encouraging as intended. It all simply became a force of habit at some point. You practice a skill to a level of proficiency, then fear letting it go. Fear you'll never be as capable at other things. Well, perhaps I should have been born as fear. So then where do you think it comes from? Your source of motivation for your task. Yes, it is. I very much enjoyed your company, Princess, and thank you for the drink. I trust we'll have more opportunities like this. Good evening. Princess? Princess. Fates protect you. My greetings. You're back. To your success. To your success. To victory. To victory. Heard the good news. Princess? If I may, do you have a moment? Princess! Why, I don't see why not. I've seen and heard about such springs as these, though never been. I feared you'd never ask again, Princess. I've longed for the warmth of the springs since last we visited. I surely can get used to this. To think that such a place is hidden here. Oof. All my fears evaporate again. I could stay here forever. Have I mentioned they like to weave? Their weaving was their occupation and their passion. I never got too good at it myself, and all they needed was the three of them, so... Well, I would travel the world, to witness mortals in their final moments, look them square in the face as they perished, often in horror. The nature of the role leaves little time for recreation, and it's all I could do to make those final moments dignified, though I don't think the gesture always comes across. I haven't. They're my sisters and my elders. I grew up under their watchful eye, and I'm more than their brother. I was their guardian. but I couldn't protect them in the end. Perhaps they always knew I'd fail them, and loved me anyway. Princess, would you just let me wallow in my misery a bit? Ah, no, wait. Forget it. It's gone. A mighty incantation on your part just now. Perhaps. These springs are good for me. Of that, I have no doubt. I've not felt so refreshed in, well, it's been a while now. Thank you again. I think I really needed that. And always wonderful to have your company. Ah, I fear the river denizens will not approach this evening if I'm there, for they can sense me every now and then. Apologies. Forgive me if I overstep, Princess. It's just, it seems to me that you and Nemesis don't always get along. They can't be petty things if they're of your concern, or for that matter, hers. I understand there's some dispute about your task. You were chosen for it, she was not. True? If I know Nemesis, she blames herself, although she takes it out on you, that I can see. If anyone, she ought to blame the fates. I have a way with mortal creatures of all sorts, so I'll accompany you. Yes. Found you at last. Princess of the Underworld. I regret having to contact you at such a time. It's not my custom to intervene during moments of doom, only to observe. They expected me to find you, for there's something they intend for you to have. Wherever you're going, look for it when you arrive. I'm uncertain if we'll meet again. Farewell. It's been an honor. I heed your call once more. Again our journeys intertwine. Why did you call upon me, Princess? Did you not receive the artifact I brought you from the Fates? I don't know whether I can answer them, as my own search for truth has not been going well of late. But I'll not decline your cordial invitation. Please lead the way. I shall. Princess, we've not met formally. I'm the official bearer of bad news. The Witch of the Crossroads apprised me of the situation here, and was gracious to invite me to stay for now. To vanquish the usurper of the House of Hades seems more than a task. I regret this burden is yours to bear, and much sooner than expected. Oh, well, the Fates do like to send me off to fetch them this or that now and again. My search in some respects was similar, though I'm beginning to think they tricked me. I think they simply wanted me out of the way, although I shouldn't speculate or further speak of this at all. Apologies. If I may, Princess, the fated list of minor prophecies, have you been able to make use of it? The fated list continues to unfold, so thank you. While the Fates often let events unfold naturally, at times they value an additional degree of certainty, and are willing to make it worthwhile. You must have your doubts. The Fates are rather famous for their sense of irony. But, no matter the outcome, I'm grateful for your willingness to discover their design. Our families are at stake. I can, yes. I'm from the deepest reaches of the underworld, where there exists no light at all. The chasm from which all creation sprang a while back. Difficult, though not impossible as we now know. Are you all right, Princess? I'm realizing that whenever you return, it's likely due to some unfortunate result. One I might have easily anticipated in the past, but not anymore. Well, now that you mention it, I can't entirely be sure the Fates have no more influence at all. How frustrating, not knowing whether our actions have been preordained or not. If it's any comfort, the prophecies appear only to you. We see there only what's meant for us, although, when you fulfill a prophecy, I can usually tell. It's like a sudden realization. I'm certain that they won't. I trust this doesn't make you feel as though your service hasn't been of value, because certainly it has. However, the prophecies listed there are indeed minor in the grand scheme of things. Yes, the Fates preside over the smallest minutiae and the greatest of patterns. So don't take the idea of minor prophecies the wrong way. A small ripple can become a great wave. Your family has been of keen interest to the Fates for some time, hasn't it? Ever since Kronos learned he was doomed to be usurped by his own children. I wouldn't second-guess too much. Later, your father and uncles drew lots to divide up their rule of the world. By chance, your father wound up with the least desirable part, didn't he? They were captured, so this can't all be according to their plan. But they are counting on your aid. Your father once was bearer of the fated list, you know. A housewarming gift, my sisters said. But Hades put it away, until your brother unearthed it from the archives and started using it himself. It wasn't until rather recently. The Fates sent me to retrieve the list from your father's house. Kronos would be absent, they said. And they were right, for when I returned, they were gone. Yes. You ask while making clear to me that you already know. I ought to have been there when it happened. Perhaps the Fates knew I lacked the strength to protect them, so they protected me. I never said I was certain, only that I no longer sensed my sister's work, and it's a relatively well-honed sense. But I've also never been apart from my sisters like this. I feel unmoored. They are highly influential, I can tell you that. But can they force your every action, every thought? Of course not. You are conscious. It was your choice to speak with me just now. Precisely. I have a bit of an awkward question, Princess. What is the custom here for making declarations of affection? I did try asking Dora first, but she didn't give me practical advice. I see. Well then, I'll have to choose a moment very carefully. I appreciate the information and your patience. If you don't mind me asking, Princess, have you ever died before? Not in the mortal sense, it's just, you seem to have exceptional tenacity in moments most gods couldn't endure. It shows. Remarkable to have met someone equally as comfortable with death as well as life. I practically see it in your eyes. Your companion Dora, she's a lively one, especially for her age. Most of the dead grow quite lethargic over time, although I suppose things have been more eventful recently. I have my ways. Dora is, well, she's not the eldest one here, though she's been around longer than most. That much is safe for me to divulge. I remember the case of Arachne. I didn't know what became of her after her metamorphosis, so it's interesting to learn that you are friends. But no, I'm afraid curses aren't my specialty. Perhaps. You and Nemesis appear to have been interacting in a more productive way of late. If I may ask, what changed between you two? I see. Although I think there's something more. Her respect for you doesn't seem newly formed. I'm attempting to contain my enthusiasm for the venerable hero of mortal kind over there, Princess. Our adversary may be crafty, but Odysseus is renowned for his wiles above all. Oh, they are to be believed, I can attest. Scalamæus, you say? I know of no one by that name, and my recollection is infallible. Perhaps he hails from a distant land, presided over by its own strange gods. Mother Nyx knew the fickle nature of the Olympians and the fate-forged weapons that they used to seal away the Titans. She desired a set of counterparts that would awaken only if the realm itself was in upheaval. Now you are being humorous, Princess. The artifact I gave to you, it can forestall the inevitable, almost like a doom repellent, except it works in the opposite way. Such technicalities aside, I trust it shall be of some benefit. Only in the final moments of your evenings, I'm afraid. Of course, we also have the evenings here. A pitch-black stone has been here this entire time, and I've failed to detect it. I fear I'm beginning to slip up more often than acceptable. I can indeed, for I know an old soul when I see one. It's a pleasure to meet you, Dora. Do let me know if I can be of service in some way. Farewell. Well, they have many mortal lives to untangle, so to speak. The work can grow repetitive, lose its spark, so they liven things up from time to time. I fear I'm not at liberty to do such things. Nevertheless, I feel as though I ought have been there, brother. Perhaps I could have protected them, as was my charge. To think the fates themselves may have denied me the attempt. It's discomforting that I may never know. You have every reason to be angry. I'm angry too. Nonetheless, I'm grateful that our paths have intertwined again. Be safe, Charon. Charon? You, Nemesis, even Hypnos. Who else, Eris? It seems I was one of the last to know of these crossroads among the children of Nyx. Perhaps I ought to have stayed in better contact. Wait, how did you... No matter. To be direct with you, Master Odysseus, I am what you might call an admirer. At first, I found you extraordinarily frustrating. So adept were you at avoiding certain doom. But gradually, perhaps grudgingly, I grew very impressed. It's quite humorous, in fact. While you drew breath, I never once had opportunity to tell you. Oh, you were a wonder to behold. There were the Lystragonian giants, Charybdis, and, lest we forget, the War of Ilium. So then, were you ever certain you had finally met your doom? Or did you truly think there was always a plan of escape to be discovered, no matter how dire the circumstance? Ah, indeed. But how was this a weakness? As I understand, your wife Penelope stood by your side. I trust I do not overstep. I know this can be a sensitive topic with those from the surface. I see. After everything you'd been through, did your relationship end in an amicable way at least? Salutations, Princess. To you as well. So it is fated. Such is his doom. Thank you. Night protect you. I appreciate it. And night protect us. Indeed. Proceed with care. Greetings. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Ready for more? It's an auspicious night. It's an auspicious night. Mother Night has plans for you, it seems. A necessary step along your path. That Cyclops has known defeat before. You have trusted allies on Olympus. Your generosity shall not be forgotten. Your foes were doomed to fall. The shades shall rise up at your side. The arms of night were forged with you in mind. Your craft cannot truly be mastered. Serve the night, and the night shall give back. The light of the sun shines for you. The heavens themselves abide you. The seas are at your call. The Queen of Olympus favors you. Your grandmother is a powerful ally. The goddess of love has further plans for you. Fiercely loyal is the goddess of the hearth. The god of the forge shall support you. The messenger shall keep you well informed. You and the goddess of the hunt are much alike. The god of wine shall help to calm your mind. The god of war gives you a thirst for blood. The gray-eyed goddess shall watch over you. You have inherited your father's strength. Ever shall you walk in the light of the moon. Your grasp of the arcana shall only grow. The depth of your understanding has no end. I know my brother trusts you more than most. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Beasts can make for great companions, true? You've much to learn yet from that book. All that you take from the earth shall be returned. Chaos must have a greater plan for you. Each trial deepens your connection to chaos. Chaos is the source of life and all its hardships. The oldest blessings in existence shall be yours. It's fortunate the Witch of Shadows stands with you. The Witch of Changing longed to aid you in her way. Your father rules the underworld by right. The son of Daedalus soars the skies in search of you. You'll know a nymph whose voice reflects your own. Two souls once intertwined, finally untangled. The fates know all about maintaining lists. Your innate strength is greater than you know. You are emboldened by your knowledge of the past. The underworld is your home, and you its protector. My brother Charon is committed to this realm. Your understanding of Discura knows no bounds. Your skill with Lim and Oros only grows. The flames of Ignium intensify for you. You shall learn to brandish Sorafet with ease. In your care, Raval grows stronger still. My sisters must be pleased. Another prophecy fulfilled. Prophecy fulfilled. Well done, Princess. Your fate continues to unfold. The fates bestow a gift. The fates bestow a gift. Just a moment. You travel to the surface, knowing full well the fates decided long ago that those of your line could not survive there and would always be forced back to the underworld. Well, I don't see them around right now, do you? Incidentally, there was once an incantation that I happened upon, which was not intended for my eyes, but I now choose to think that it was intended for yours. Please understand, Princess, that I am not at liberty to give advice on matters such as that, not even hypothetically. I trust I've been sufficiently direct in putting it this way? Yes, that covers it. Princess, Officially, I cannot condone your actions. Your visits to the surface violate the terms the fates set for your father's lineage, and you invite whichever consequences they see fit. Our conversations are most definitely more secure that way, but unofficially, I am amazed by your accomplishment. Perhaps living so close to the surface predisposed you, but still, I was uncertain it was possible. Likewise, chaos summoned you. That is unusual, though not entirely without precedent. And in this case, I can imagine why. Chaos and Mother Nyx were rather close, after all. This isn't the first time they took an interest in your family, or took action that the fates themselves likely never preordained. I choose to think you've made a new ally. How far were you able to go last night, Princess? You were gone for some time. I sensed the growing fear and excitement in the air, even heard some of the rumblings. I would object to anyone but you diminishing such a victory. Is this not a vitally important component of the task you've been entrusted to complete? Then congratulations, and may the fates avail your next move. Oh, that is a lot of information to take in. It does make some amount of sense. Kronos having free reign in your father's house, eventually found his way to Chaos, then coaxed this vital information out of them. Then he ambushed the fates as part of his plans for conquest. You're seeing me right now. It's just, my anger changes nothing, typically. So Chaos now is working to undo some of the damage caused. Kronos removed one thread in the fates, but created another. Perhaps an unwise trade. Well, it's just, Chaos and my sisters didn't always get along. Chaos wanted everything to be possible, while the fates, their desire is for things a certain way. But they would all agree that you should use the stone as you see fit. Right. The Oath of the Unseen is somewhere here, isn't that so, Princess? The aura that it emanates, I haven't felt it since before all this. I thought the oath was lost with Mother Nyx, but it was in the care of Lady Hecate. The oath is clearly in good hands, although these glimpses can be both of bearers past and still to come, true? So it may be that I shall bear those flames in some other age in which the realm's in need. I trust the fates must have wanted me to know in advance. I'd ask what my sister Eris is doing here, but then they say wheresoever goes doom, strife follows. Or the other way around, whether I like it or not. Has she been here long? The fates gave up on her as well. Ordered that we never interact, that I not clean her messes anymore. Although sometimes she'll goad a conversation out of me, I trust she hasn't made your lives too difficult? The rail has turned against the gods before. Only the fates know its true and final purpose. But Eris has it by their own decree, perhaps as a plaything to keep her occupied. Oh yes, much as I tried to avoid it. Forgive me, though I never have quite understood the compulsion to extract water creatures from their natural environs. I know for mortals it is sometimes necessary sustenance, though others do it for the sake of sport. Why? That seems like a burdensome responsibility for creatures that ought to take better care of themselves. I can certainly appreciate that part. And now we wait. Please, Eris, the princess ought to be addressed as such. And lest you forget, the details of my arrival are not for me to divulge. There must be something else we can discuss. You're trying to embarrass me. It isn't going to work, and besides, we both know the fates have better uses of their weaving time than things like that. I know better than to be provoked like this. Come to your senses, Eris. You're not doing yourself any favors by impeding the will of the fates. Have you heard of even a single incident where that turned out for the best? You know that isn't how it works. Have you truly made up your mind to side against, well, everyone? Even I'm not supposed to be speaking to you. The wooden horse was an exquisite trick. Your own inevitable doom misdirected toward your unsuspecting foes. A masterstroke. But my personal favorite had to be the Polyphemus incident. Oh, but I have no doubt that with your guidance, the princess shall outsmart the Cyclops again and again, as recompense for the trouble that he caused you. But the retribution you see fit to dole out, how can you be so certain that decisions about such consequences are yours alone? The fates have quite a bit of say in it as well. Even if that were true, the burden of choosing who deserves what, I wouldn't want to bear it on my own. Otherwise, my judgment would have to be perfect at all times. Yet we are fallible beings. I was. Quite a predicament we find ourselves in, sister. Certainly not one I could have anticipated when first I arrived. How odd. So what are we to do? It's not my wish to interfere. Wait. No, I would prefer to be forthright. Princess, the issue is we each develop certain feelings for you that, in some cases, can manifest as the kind of envy that Nemesis is committed to punishing. An outcome we are trying to avoid. Yes, we are. Prometheus, I took no pleasure in his plight. The gods certainly know how to make an example of someone. Now he seeks vengeance. A favored pattern in the weavings of the fates. I do not wish to speculate, Princess. All I know is the Titan of foresight never was the violent sort. His experience in captivity must have changed him. In my weakest moments, I used to envy Prometheus, even knowing his plight, for he was loved by mortals, having given them the gift of fire from Olympus. I, on the other hand, was hated. It should not have mattered to me, but it did. Although I said I didn't wish to speculate, I cannot shake the sense that Kronos values him because so many mortals do. The new golden age he seeks to bring about. An age for mortals, not for gods. My sisters told me of a certain prophecy even I thought would never come to pass. That Olympus would once again face the fury of the father of all monsters, and their conflict would shake the world to its core. And now it's happening. I was not permitted to warn you. Had I done so, it merely would have expedited an outcome I now realize was bound to happen anyway. Though perhaps your implication is correct, and this is all my fault. Unraveling a fateful bond. I abetted your plans to gain the surface. The awakening of Typhon. Perhaps it's a punishment. And a reminder never to defy the fates. Princess, please forgive me. Respectfully, Princess, I've past events to document, so I had better not. Some other time, perhaps? Patience is a necessary skill in this pursuit. Perhaps there's something I can learn from your technique. What lurks in the river Cocytus? I sense something. So peaceful here. Here it comes. Steady, Princess. Impressive catch. Skillfully caught. Come meet your fate. Your fate is sealed. Ah, my regrets. Outmaneuvered. They are quick. How inopportune. Perhaps it's good to let the mind wander a bit to such pursuits, every once in a while. A brief word? Beg pardon? Indeed. Something unusual occurred, Princess. The faded list scrolled to a point that caught my eye. What it said made little sense to me, though I'm implored to tell you. I see your spirit's glimmer as the metals underneath the earth. A demon of some sort. A mask-like face in shadow. Some nocturnal realm, not necessarily our own. Who is this? I may have just fulfilled part of a prophecy in relaying those words. I trust they'll be of benefit, not harm. Not until now. The fates presumably chose each and every bearer of the arms of night. Those bearers may not be bound by blood, but are connected still. And it seems I was to be your link to this soup pie. I couldn't say. Perhaps there shall be other underworlds besides our own. Or there already are. True, the fates are not always straightforward. Their prophecies are represented visually, not written in detail. At least the major ones. I thought my interpretation of Typhon's return was likely misguided. Well, it wasn't that exactly, though I didn't take it quite as literally as I should have in hindsight. I thought it prophesied that the Olympians would have to stand against some sort of existential threat. No, not as such. The weavings of the fates tend not to be precise in their detail, which I know can make them a bit confounding. But I salute your victory, Princess. I'd like to think that I foretold it, even if the fates did not. I had a feeling. Well, there was lightning, which I took to represent Zeus. The earth seemed to shake, recalling Poseidon, and a red spear reminiscent of your father's, piercing the storm. But even these specifics don't seem to pertain to the matter at hand. I've come to value our companionship, Princess, so there's something you should know about me in case it becomes pertinent to us. I'm promised to another, by the fates. Well, at the risk of being overly direct, I've concluded that she isn't you. The fates described her as the morning light, whose luminance breaks through the darkness and reveals the beauty of the world. You're, well, different than that. I fear I do not know. She and I are to meet at some point, but apparently not yet. When first you and I met, I thought perhaps that I might find her in this place. I realize that now. This nectar of the gods, it's such a luxury. With my sisters, I led a relatively simple life. Now to find myself in such a place, much less with you, no prophecy could have prepared me. Well, it was an excellent place to be a weaver, but there was not a lot of other recreational activity or other company. I fear I may become quite self-indulgent with all this. Oh, I think that's a better question for Nemesis. It's not for me to say whether we deserve such things, and the fates did not advise me as to whether I should accept such gifts. Nor did I ever think to ask. My heart, it isn't saying anything, Princess, but it is beating faster than I'm accustomed, even though I'm at rest and comfortable, mostly. Very comfortable. I don't wish to be so rude, so thank you very much. I'm attempting to listen to my heart right now, Princess, but if truly it can speak, I'm afraid it's speaking a bit rapidly, such that I can't entirely understand or know what to do, as though I'm in one of your binding spells. I thank you very much for that, Princess. I'm pleased that you approve of me this way, and next time, as you say, I'll be better prepared to express my sentiment in turn. I should be thanking you instead, Princess, not merely for this gift, which is beautiful, but also because you've given me something else to strive for, besides the fate-appointed calling that I've known. I'd welcome that, although it isn't what I meant, which is, knowing you could spend your time with anyone. I'll strive to make the time you spend with me worthwhile, as fulfilling for you as it is for me, and you don't know how glad I am to hear it. Well, I've relayed what I believe my heart has said, after a closer listening. Perhaps I ought to have kept its message to myself. Nothing would please me more, Princess, except it's not my wish to burden you, and I regret that I've permitted my concerns, which are slight, to become apparent. So please, don't go out of your way on my account. You make a strong case. It would be my honor to accompany you then. Shall we head down? I have been drawn to others on occasion, yes, but I knew better than to let myself become attached. If my heart started to speak to me, I always could make it quiet down. What do you mean, Princess? What passions could you have possibly suppressed, given all that you've achieved? Then I'm very grateful that your heart is beginning to prevail in more of these debates. I think it only makes you stronger, and perhaps it's the ambrosia, but I'm very fond of that. Of you in your entirety, truly. I don't know this other goddess to whom I've been promised, nor do I want to. And I've violated the will of the fates already. We both have. Wherever all this leads, I would have you by my side, to discovering our path. I very much enjoyed our time, Princess, and will anticipate when we can be together next. Soon, I trust. Forgive me, Princess. I apologize for the abruptness of my approach. My mind told me not to appear before you without good cause, but my heart demanded otherwise. Is this not a good time? No, you look... Well, I am truly at a loss for words. I should have rehearsed what I sought to say more thoroughly. We can stay for... I don't exactly know. A while that to others shall seem merely an instant, so I sought to see you here again in the off chance you sought to see me. No, not disappointed in the least, Princess. And I do understand. Forgive me, once again, this outburst of feeling. I don't wish to pretend I never asked, but may we perhaps still carry on as close acquaintances? Ha! Well then, may you recover as swiftly as ever, and I shall see you shortly on the other side. Farewell for now. Princess, you have my word. As for your own sense of time, that I cannot change. So, as much as I would like remaining here with you eternally, we should probably be getting back. On that, you'll hear no arguments from me either. Princess, I was going to ask you the same. As for me, it's as though I'm in a dream. The wonderful kind I've sometimes heard described. But what of you? Perhaps that shall be the difference in what we have, that it can last. If you would like, of course. Princess, I was going to ask you the same thing. As for me, I'm doing well, pending your response to the same question. In any case, I'm grateful that we had a chance to speak the way we did, of course, although I haven't had a lot of close acquaintances given my work, so forgive me if I stumble. Hello, Princess. I trust that when we spoke quite recently that I did not make you, well. And I shall, except in this case, I believe I misconstrued something I thought you may have thought, because admittedly I am a little new at all of this. I too suppose, you be well tonight. Well, I wouldn't want for you to go out of your way, or for Selene, for that matter. You have a vital task, and I know that the moon herself is aiding you. Princess, if this prophecy concerning me and the one to whom I have been promised hasn't appeared on the fated list, then there truly is no need for you to intervene. We are bound to meet. Whether I want to or not is irrelevant. You took some interest in this goddess to whom I am said to be bound, presuming she is Eos, the incarnate of dawn. The truth is, when the fates first told me about her, I grew rather frustrated. In typical fashion, they revealed little, but the way in which they kept describing this goddess or titaness and telling me how contented I would be, it was the first time I questioned their wisdom. Not outwardly, of course. If I am doomed to be with Dawn, then so be it. But I shall not be forcing that outcome along. I would much prefer to remain here, if you'll have me. And I am grateful that you did. I had no expectations for our meeting, but the truth is, I was drawn to you quite early on, certainly in fewer than, say, 5 nectar bottles. Princess, let us never speak of Dawn again. Perhaps my sisters know what shall become of me, but I increasingly suspect that they do not. They certainly did not prepare me for your beauty, for one. Princess, I ought to mention, I know there are others whom you're close with, all of whom I think you've known longer than me. I, on the other hand, have no one else. Living with my sisters, I had little opportunity. I'm pleased you do not mind. I have been thinking more about what you said at the taverna, Princess. About finding one source of motivation, whether through encouraging results or through adversity. Or more ambrosia. Ha! As a force of adversity and negativity myself, I appreciate your open-mindedness. But I wanted to say that ambrosia is quite a motivator too. I trust we can share some again sometime. Princess, I take it you're not saying this for sake of jest, so please believe in turn that I have never used the flames before. I know them only by reputation. Can you be certain that this aspect is my own? I've many relatives. Kronos fell to you once more. That much I heard. It's an impressive feat, although you mean to bring him death, yet he is deathless. This seems to be a paradox. So then, to vanquish him must be at least a step toward that end. What shall become of everything if you succeed and time is truly killed? A world without time. Another paradox, yet one that must be true. It certainly is possible, even probable. Yet, historically, my sisters have had little patience for those who disregard their prophecies. Perhaps they're making an exception. In my experience, it's best to avoid dwelling on such subject matter. Not even I can always see the pattern in my sister's reasoning, and I think that's their preference. Quite likely, yes. You haven't often looked upon the fated list of late. For many nights I would anticipate your safe return, then watch as you fulfilled one prophecy after another. Now you brush right by it to come speak with me. You have done very well, or rather you have done what would inevitably come to pass. Although I choose to think that this result required much intention on your part. Perhaps then there shall be another prophecy for me, to pass the fated list along to someone else. I do not know. If that is true, then my own purpose for arriving at these crossroads is achieved. But now I do not know how to proceed, with neither my sisters nor the list to direct me. And what might that have been? To violate their will repeatedly while growing close to you? My sisters like to scheme, but not to that extent. On the contrary, I would be with you here as long as I can. It's true, isn't it? You scoured Typhon from this world. The prophecy I saw must have not merely been about his reawakening, but his eradication. How did you manage this, if I may ask? Your father's spear. In what I saw, a spear could be seen piercing through the storm. Then that must have been you. And so, the fates truly did anticipate that you'd prevail. If I but knew. I've not seen the Witch of the Crossroads recently, Princess. Do you know where she may be? What an accomplishment. Your task is finally complete. Perhaps the fates knew you'd succeed, but I couldn't always be certain, although I held to what could be considered hope. Doom averted. We children of Nyx have already heard that Mother is no longer bound in Tartarus. You have our deepest gratitude. Certainly mine. Well then, what happens now? Then it sounds like I may see you again soon? How fares your effort to cleanse all of the disorder Kronos wrought? I trust this new task doesn't fall solely to you. Death to Kronos. To his old self. I don't know how you managed it, Princess. Perhaps not even my sisters could know such a thing, wherever they may be. I often search the void where you and I first met, since the fates would sometimes go there too. But it's a vast place. While you were out, the fated list, it started shaking and scrolled over to a prophecy I'd never seen, and already fulfilled. I think there may be more to it, but I'm attempting to understand what could have prompted such a change. You'll follow where the list is leading, yes? You found them, my sisters. They're all right. I was about to say thank the fates, but in this case, Princess, I can only say thank you. While you'd best not tell me how you did it, please do tell how it was to meet them finally. The advent of another age. They notified me, yes. Perhaps it's their way of preventing any further attempts to circumvent their will. Assuming this age does arrive, I think it means that mortals shall be having a reprieve from me, potentially for quite some time, and that I'll have to find something to do. I'd like that very much. You're asking if the Titan of Foresight knew the fates would eventually make this choice, before even they knew it. Perhaps the lot of them conspired to achieve a shared goal. I merely seek alternatives to the suggestion that my sisters may not be the first to know. So then Prometheus prevailed on behalf of mortals after all. Or shall, when comes this age. Sometimes I don't know what to do with myself anymore, Princess. I thought if you succeeded in your task that I'd return to my responsibilities. But now it seems I won't. So what are we supposed to do? I'm doom incarnate. I'll never be known for my fishing, for instance. I fear perhaps my best work is behind me. We have it easier than mortals, certainly. Another victory within the depths of Tartarus. Except now, your fight requires you to transcend space and time, with assistance from your grandfather, of course. True, I assure you that my inability to sound terribly surprised does not prevent my feeling so. You have many such battles left to fight? Then to your many victories to come. Are your attempts to scale the mountain of the gods less difficult, at least, now than before? The war with Kronos having ended surely must bring some relief. So then your fight continues as before, except without a burning vengeance for your family to compel you. What is the motivating factor now? I, too, increasingly have the desire to see that. I noticed Hypnos was no longer in his spot, though for how long I couldn't say. Perhaps Odysseus had him relocated someplace where the snoring would be less of a distraction. I'm sorry I missed him. From what I know about your father, he does value punctuality. And from what I know about my brother's sleep, he must have greeted you enthusiastically. Oh yes, I certainly remember you. Would it be any consolation knowing that the fates had already decided that your wings would fail you, and you would fall? Well, first, my sisters have to be impartial, to keep a healthy distance from their work. Rarely is it ever personal. As for the choice you made, it was still yours, except the outcome would have likely happened either way. Not necessarily exactly that, but yes, as long as it is not an imposition, Lady Hecate. I know you have far greater responsibilities than looking after yet another child of Nyx, especially when Nyx herself is back. Then I shall do so to the best of my ability. Please notify me if you deem my performance unsatisfactory in any way. Like who? Something seems to have occurred with your companion Dora. She hasn't been as keen to make her remarks or possess my belongings. Is she all right? I think I may already know. Well, she's an old soul but a strong one, and fortunate to have you as a friend. Do you suppose there's something I may do to help? Certainly she startled me before. You sing beautifully, Princess. One of the three fates likes to hum while she weaves, but sounds nothing like you. The goddess of the hunt and you seem rather close. The other Olympians less so. True. So many new acquaintances. I have something for you, Princess. Where I reside, such darkness was quite commonplace, but perhaps not anymore. Here, in case you need it. I would have given it to you even if not. You're safe. I missed this. Moonlight, even here. Still your heart. Stay with me. Stay with me. All these shadows. Melinoi, Melinoi, Melinoi. You prevailed. The fates were generous. Thank the fates. As fate would have it. Once again, welcome back. You did it. A step toward your goal. You look well. Heading out? Princess. Princess. Wait, Princess, if I may. The shade we know as Dora is undaunted by her past. The great tactician laid the hauntings of his past to rest. The weaver called Arachne chose her fate herself. My brother's sleep was bound to wake eventually. Whatever ails you, your amphibious companion shall listen. These crossroads shall yet flourish as never before. Long were you bound to bear each of the nocturnal arms. How could the three fates have expected this, if they... Could the fates have already expected your ascent? Each of the nocturnal arms shall make war in the heavens. A distant god of the dead bearing Discura. But when? A phantom goddess bearing Lim and Oros. How? A demon spirit bearing Ignium. But where? A god who longs for dealing death with Zoraphet. Why? A dread frozen queen bearing Rival. Who is she? An avatar of destruction bearing Casenth. But to what end? You shall reveal the mysteries of Casenth. Despite the vanity of this Narcissus, he shall be generous. My sisters have keen interest in skilled weavers of all sorts. The gods may not always be united, but they are for now. The great blessings of the gods shall all be yours. The tools of the unseen were bound to grow strong. You shall be tested by a songstress of the deep. You somehow found my sisters at long last. Your familiars shall reach their true potential in your care. You shall procure a wide variety of denizens of the deep. Whatever pact you formed with chaos shall be sealed. You shall wield many different forms of the nocturnal arms. Your strongest foes each have a dark side you now know. The arms of night shall feast in all their forms. Your animal familiars shall follow you to the very end. Even the fates themselves perhaps did not expect this. I think we both knew this would come to pass. Doom averted. Keep going. Impressive. Such tenacity. Fight on. Proceed. Unexpected. Close call. Well done. Survived again. Oh, where to start? Children slaughtering their parents was an old standby of ours. I'm reluctant to choose our best. There also was the war from which I first took notice of Master Odysseus. That had some good ones. We have a responsibility to the realm that takes precedence. And besides, mortals don't realize that everything ends up all right for most of them. As long as mortals fear us still. I'd like that very much. It's very peaceful there. Almost like when we meet during the moment you return. The perfect warmth. Perhaps a little, but it's something I refuse to believe. Why would the fates have promised me to another if they wanted me to be with you? That makes very little sense. But I always was obedient. They had no reason to think I'd defy them. Now I just can't accept we were tricked into this somehow. We may not have met by chance, but still. My sisters had more important things to do. They certainly have their way, and I have never felt more grateful to them. Or to you. Whew. I think I'm ready for whatever else the fates may have in store. See you, Malinois. You'd think I'd know the answer, Princess, but it pains me to admit I never once stopped to consider that. Weaving is just what they did. There aren't too many activities fit for exactly 3. Perhaps that's it. Best not to give them any ideas. Yes, that was truly excellent, Dora. Although, Horned King? That made it sound as though I was important in some way, when I think you were going for sheer dominance. Don't you touch them. I said don't. Please? I've met most of them, I think, at one time or another. We very seldomly have family get-togethers, something Mother Nyx decided to try after Olympus and your father tried to make a similar tradition out of it. But that did not go well. Well, you named several top contenders already. Princess, we've not met formally. I'm called Moros, Doom, or the official bearer of bad news. The Witch of the Crossroads apprised me of the situation here, and was gracious to invite me to stay for now.
All right, we're here. Well, what do you know? We got ourselves a visitor, ladies. Who would have thought? You found us, sweetie. You get, 3 questions? 3 of us, 3 questions. Sounds reasonable, right? Are you safe in any distress? Whew, what do you think, ladies? We count that as 1 question or 2? I say go easy on her. Seems like a nice girl. Count it as just 1, okay?
Oh yeah, nice girl, you're right. Count it as 1. Okay.
We're fine, sweetie. At least now we are. Your grandpa got us. Yeah, we were a little miffed, you know? 'Cause we'd been weaving. So then we figured, what's a better time to take a break? That's question 2. We did send word. That's why you're here. Moros, he's a real sweetheart. We figured he could use a little alone time. Okay, last question. Okay, now that I'm counting as 2 questions, so I'm only gonna give you the first one. Well, maybe it was the second. I'm getting mixed up. Point is, we're not gonna do a thing. This has been nice. Hey, who knows what's gonna happen, you or me? Look, all you gods, you got yourselves into this. I know, you think it's cause of us. Well, we don't like that kind of pressure. You've been doing okay on your own, so...
Yeah, you've been doing okay. So we are gonna let you keep this up.
We're gonna let you keep this up. And once you've had your fill being without us for a while, you're gonna hand it over to mortals, just like we're handing it over to you. That's all right, sweetie. Think of it like, you gods can do your own thing for a while, then mortals can do theirs. It'll be a brand new age. Been a while since the last one of those. Oh, come on. Don't make it sound like such a big deal. Not like you're gonna do anything different anyway. But you could. Just ask your old teacher sometime. Now, she's pulled some strings, let me tell you.
Oh yeah, teacher's definitely pulled some strings, all right.
Oh, yeah, we know. Well, anyway, sweetie, we're gonna cut you loose, as we've got other things to do. But not leaving. Not for the foreseeable future, as they say. So nice to finally meet you. Bye. Nothing to see here. Bye. Hey, go on. Get out of here. Could you mind your own business? You're early. Go away.